Alright, a little bit of a review on the communist combats. Where the pins are pointing over the hexes ahead combat, so this hex right here was vacated. And the units right there had to retreat, turned upside down. Next combat here, the ARDE units held out. And you can see there inflicted a casualty on the MPS unit. As a result of that combat, coming on up here, we can see here that the Contras have held firm. They're in that mountain jungle area, even with the enemy Hind E providing support. But those units had to retreat all the way over here. Their little airstrip spot, victory hex, victory condition hex. This one here, we see a vacated hex. Communists must have had a victory there because these units have retreated 2 hexes. And I believe they are reduced in strength. That is that combat. The very last one, I guess, would be this combat here where the Contras were also drove back. Had a nice little offensive going against their main point of reinforcement. It must be their big headquarters, their big complex there. Well, we had some units come on in with a helicopter assault, and they were repulsed. They have retreated, and I believe 1 or 2 of them are reduced also. So probably a good combat phase for the communists. I see the Allies held out here and here. The rest of them were defeated. Alright, that is it. We're coming up on the reserve movement phase. These units here that are taking part in combat will have their insurgency reserve movers insurgency reserve markers removed. This one here and this unit here, they are taking part in combat. You can only have insurgency reserve movement if you have not done anything else that turn. So I think there's only going to be 1 communist insurgency unit that qualifies. We will be back. We have some vlogs to open up and some catching up to do. It is a good holiday, and we're getting a little bit of gaming in, having a lot of fun outside, though. And, you know, before you know it, the snow's going to be flying, and you ain't going to be able to go outside. So we're enjoying the heck out of that. More of a holiday weekend than a gaming weekend, but when we get an empty house, we can sit down here and enjoy some vlogs. Like I said, little update on that Command Colors tournament. I never did get it back. My buddy never did get back with me, my opponent. I emailed him once, got a hold of the director, and he said it's all right. He goes, sometimes, you know, people just aren't able to play, but I don't know if I'm going to advance any further. I didn't win a game 1 on that one. I think I had played a total of maybe 6 games. Didn't win 1. So I went 6. It was pretty bad. That game hates me. I like it. It's a good game, but I'd rather be playing this. All right, we'll be back with the find out what happened with my opponent and what he wants to do with reserve movement. We'll be right back. All right, we're back, and this unit here will not move. So the insurgency reserve marker has been taken off of him, and there will be no more reserve movements. He had a second insurgency disbandment phase, and when that replicates or simulates his insurgency unit's ability to gather in certain jungle areas, I guess just rough terrain areas, and disperse likewise. And I guess in some spots, if you had a insurgency unit, say you had a bunch of insurgency units down here, and you really needed them across the map, you could disperse them or disband them and put them in your little reserve spot. If you have insurgency command points left, you could try to bring them on and form them a little bit closer to where the action is. Or if you look like you're going to get your ass beat and give the other side some points, you just disband them and get them off the map. So he didn't wish to do that. After that was the helicopter transport phase. And he did have a transport helicopter here in this supply source. But I guess he did not wish to move any units and kept his helicopter there. He does have some good units there. He's got some paradrop units there, so they can be helicopter assaulted or paradropped. He's got some more units there. And that 3 down there, that top number 3 is their movement allowance. The first numbers on the bottom. 2 to the left is their attack, and 3 is their defense. And that 3 is pretty strong in this game. So there you go. Wisely, I guess, chose not to transport. Next was his return to base phase. He did have some high Ds that he returned to base. I got to find out where they went. Oh, here you go. He came back from a mission. Now he's turned all the way upside down, which means he can no longer do anything during my turn. He can't even provide support for this hex here. Now this helo here, he kept on his friendly supplied hex, and if that hex gets attacked, he's only turned sideways, so he still has another activation left. So that's a good deal right there. He left him right there for defensive purposes. The helicopter can provide defensive close combat support. That'll be it. After that was the return to base phase, and we are down here now, opening up the vlog to find out where it puts his reinforcements. Here's his reinforcements for this turn. And they will have to come in, like I said, just reinforcement hacks. I don't know what to do about stacking, but we'll see what happens about that. But yeah, they can only come in there, and I don't think they can move out. I'm not sure. And that'll be the end of his turn after reinforcements. So, we have to see. That's kind of a little bit of a rule conundrum. There you go on his reinforcements. You can see they start to get a little bit less. But first 2 turns, yeah, he calls in the reserves. He tells everybody to gather and mobilize for the Contra Drive. We'll be back. Communist reinforcements for turn 2. We have a nice little brigade here, the 352nd. An armored unit with anti-aircraft capability. 338 movement. There you go. First time we've seen armor in this game. I don't know what kind of armor it is, but he does have an anti-aircraft unit with it, or either that or some infantry with stingers. But that is I think that might be a regiment. Brigade, regiment, battalion of anti-aircraft, and bringing in some more high D gunships. Wow, now the thing of it is, he's way overstacking limits, so I'm just going to let him put them on there and wait till next turn they'll move out. But this place here is pretty much unimpregnable and will be a big jumping off point for the communists and some offensive coming on up. Ouch! I don't have any reinforcements. I just got some insurgency units coming into my insurgency replacement pile. That's my reserves. Those are the ones that got eliminated or weren't able to come on yet. But you don't have no victory points for eliminated units. So like I said, it all depends on game turn 12 how many allied units are on the board, and then in turn add them up for his victory points. I got to get all those victory point hexes, i.e. hexes with these blocks on them. So there you go. We'll find out. I guess we'll just put all these reinforcements here at Metagalpa, his main reinforcement area. I'll look at the rules again and make sure that's where they go, but I'm pretty sure that's his only reinforcement spot. That's why we made the first initial push. The window was short. The window was definitely short and slammed shut, but we were going to try to go for a nice little what do you call it? Capture of that point right there. All right, we'll be back. All right, then, quite the stack of units at the reinforcement point. And, we have checked out the rules, and that is where they go. So until I think it did have a little stipulation as they arrive there until they're ready to be deployed or move out in their next movement phase. So that will be the setup there. Oof. Armored units, helicopter assault ships, or assault helicopters. Wow. All right, we're going to have to deal with that for sure. Well, now it is, the Allied supply phase. I got to see if everybody can trace supply. This is going to be a little bit intricate here, but we do have some supply sources nearby. The lines haven't gotten that far yet. We will see, though. We got the main thing of these roads. I'm looking at these units right here. Although an entrenchment is a supply source, so we ain't got to worry about that. All these entrenchments are supply sources, so I think we're pretty good. Let me look at the supply from my side, and we will continue with it. Be back. All right, well, we have used up some Allied reorganization points because we have taken some casualties during the communist offensive. Let me see if I can find the markers. This unit here, underneath here, is reduced. I chose not to reorganize him because during movement, I want to get him out of the way. One of the key things in this game is I don't want to lose units. If I reorganized them there, it just looks to me like there's an attack waiting to happen to uh, eliminate him or attack this hex. I want to, instead of reorganizing him, we're going to try to move him back as much as we can to the rear, and then we'll reorganize. I don't want to reorganize him here and have him vulnerable to being eliminated. Where did I reorganize that? Well, okay. We have a unit here, an insurgency unit here with the tan marker is reorganizing. We have a unit here that is reorganizing. We also have some military assistance, civilian military assistance. Special Forces was a reduced unit, so I reorganized him, but his Huey is also damaged, so my memory's not that good. In this game, I'd have to go back into the videos and check it out, but he must have attempted to helicopter assault somewhere and got repulsed. So I don't know why he'd be all the way back here in the back lines at this base. He must have had to return to his base. So there you go. I had to reorganize him. I think that is it for the reorganization, and which is more or less just bringing him off the battlefield, letting him rest a little bit, and evacuating the wounded, and having replacements for those KIA'd. All right. That is it for the reorganization phase. Let me look at guerrilla attack. I don't know if I'm next to any installations or anything, but yeah, let me see what's going on with that. Oh, I'll be right back. Alright, nothing really going on for the guerrilla attack phase, so I'm going to move it on over here to the regular ground unit movement phase. And my army is mostly an insurgent army, but we do have some regular ground units, a solid brown. Let me look around here, see if there's anybody I want to move now. I want to keep in place for helicopter assaults, stuff like that. I do have some helicopter units, but I think they're already taken up. So there you go. This unit here still has to return to base. He's there by himself because his ground units were forced to retreat, so I got to get him out of here. We still have these units here and a bunch of other units, so this will be my first attempt to maybe get some attacks going on. We'll see what's up. This is a game changer right here, though. Wow. Ooh, might be up against it. Need that combined arms and need the Honduran Air Force. Need to find out how to get them involved. We'll be right back. Alright, well, I just got an urgent email from my opponent, and he wanted me to go back and check out these rules. Because he says he can't put his reinforcements in here because it says communist reinforcements are placed in any friendly controlled city. Well, the scenario rules supersede that, and it tells us we can only put them in one spot in this scenario. But they cannot be placed in cities occupied by enemy units or in hexes in enemy zones of control. So there you go. That takes care of that. So all these units here will go back on the... we'll put them on the track on the turn 2, but they will be all waiting until the communist player can clear out the area around Matagalpa. He cannot bring anybody on in. I'll take that any day. You gotta like an opponent that points out stuff that's negative for them. And yeah, as a matter of fact, I was getting ready to go read through that anyway. I just forgot all about it, but he's on it. And additional points, yeah, intervention game, that's all it says. Alright. If all Nicaraguan cities are controlled by Allied ground units or Allied zone of control, the communist player no longer receives reinforcements for the remainder of the scenario. Oh, wait. Well, I don't know about that. Even if it was recaptured by communist ground units. Well, they haven't captured the city. We haven't captured it yet, but once we capture it, he can't recapture it and bring in reinforcements. So this here is the hex of the game. Wow. And it just lost all these units. Can you go? Let me see if I can hold this here. I would be putting my hands together like this going, So we'll see. Yeah, because I was looking at my big strategy right now with that big stack there, thinking, what the heck am I going to do? He's just going to come out, but yeah, he's choked up. Choked up until he can clear me out. We'll be back. Getting interesting here in the Contra Drive, and now it's time for my ground unit movement phase. Oh, I already moved one unit though. We had some ARD. These units down here really can't do nothing. These are some strong defenses, and I got enough offensive capability to do anything with them. So I'm just going to move him into the fortress or entrenchment hex that is actually inside of Costa Rica. So if they want to come on in here after me, it activates these units against them. But like I said, the Costa Rican Defense Force ain't much. But that's just what's happening there. We want them to cross the border into Honduras so we get those air units. All kinds of stuff going on with our great retro from the 80s victory games. Be back. I also wanted to make a note of, and I forgot about this, but we'll go ahead and do it here as an example. Is this unit here that was eliminated. We will put on a turn record track. I think it's 3 turns up. 1, 2, 3. So I will get a reinforcement. That will cost me 3 allied reorganization points. 1, 2, 3. So I'm only down to 4. But I wanted to rebuild that unit, so there you go. Let me make sure that is what it is. Oh, hold on a second here. Rebuilding. The unit is placed on a game turn track 3 boxes ahead of the current turn. 1, 2, 3. All right, we are on it. There you go. Just wanted to make sure we did that. And when we come back, regular ground unit movement phase. And let's take a look at the board, see what we want to do here. I'll be back. All right. Well, since we videoed last, I've been kind of emailing back and forth with my opponent, and he thinks he's got to clear this area out and clear that hex out before he can bring in reinforcements. I don't know. We're kind of having a little bit of a conundrum about that being the reinforcement hex. It does specifically say that in the rules. Oh, Contra Drive. Reinforcement phase and turn in which they arrive. All right, it's going to be any clearer. We'll have to find out what he's going to do. But anyway, it's my turn. I'm just letting you know what's going in on the rules. We've been looking underneath stacking limitations and rules, and the rules are the stacking limits apply after movement. So basically, what he's going to have to do is clear this hex from any zones of control, and then have units out here protecting it, and then have one unit in there, or no units in here garrisoned, so he can bring his reinforcements. He's got quite the job. Oh shoot! It's almost kind of better, I think, that my last opponent was a no-show, because that would have drove him crazy. He was what do you call it? Rage quitting almost every game. So we'll see what's up. Can we do the same thing to this opponent? That's not nice. I'm just teasing. But anyway, all right, we'll be back with some more Central America. We got some strategies to figure out. Might take a while, but it'll be a snap on the video. Regular ground movement is over for the Allies. And like I said, well, I hope my opponent doesn't see these videos. I never did tell my other opponent, my previous opponent, that I videoed it, but I never did give away his name, so I don't tell everybody who it is. And I tried to hide their my last vlog with my last opponent, I tried to hide his name on our vlogs, but this one here, the computer's really in the other room. I got to bring it on in here, my laptop, and I'll just leave it in here and transfer everything. But this unit here, like I said, moved in to reinforce. There ain't nothing going on down south here. This is a hard area to get to, so I don't know what's going to go on down here. This looks like it's just going to be a stalemate. We'll check it out and see if my opponent tries to do anything. But regular allied units that could move were eligible or solid brown. I moved my old boy out of the fortress here, entrenchment. I want to get something going on down here. I want to pull these units here away from the main fight over here, so we will have a little bit of excitement going on around trying to capture, especially putting a pressure on getting units adjacent to this air base here. It's always key to get these insurgency units next to these air bases and installations. They can wreak all kinds of havoc. So I'm going to move him on out there. Unfortunately, he had to cross the river without a bridge, moving through jungle. There's 3 movement points right there. He has a total of 4. He ain't really going to go too far. Where are we at here with some more? Oh, major movement here. These old boys are up here jumped on the road. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. They can go all the way down here on the road. This is my CIA electronic warfare unit. Engineers on top of it. So that'll give me okay. He's got a 3 hex range, and we got a couple of fat defensive wise regular FDN army units. So we got 2 of them there. I think this might be a little village called Lurinega. I guess that's what it is. They're moved sideways, and they are set to go here. Now I got another unit here that moved also and captured this other village and a supply source. So there you go. Got our first supply source. I don't know about victory points. I think all these victory points come into effect towards the end of the game. We'll look and see if I get victory points for this right here. But yeah, now we're just like putting on a threat. Hopefully moving units out, because he's obviously going to see you don't want me to take over this air group or airfield. So that's mostly a threat. I got to protect my flanks with my insurgency units. But yeah, there you go. We might be able to get some attacks going. We have a really strong unit here. This here is a mega unit. It's a CIA Chinook, but it must have a big old 50 cal on it or some kind of a Gatling gun, because it can provide close air support, bombardment points, and everything. So it's loaded with missiles and close air support fire, machine gun fire. All right, let me look and see. I think that is going to be it for my regular unit movement phase. Big news is right here. Moving them out. We got to protect our flanks, though. But hopefully it does a job of sucking some units out of here. We want to get a big attack going on this one, but as long as we keep a zone of control over this hex, he can't bring in no reinforcements. That is a godsend. Would have ruled out. Now the thing of it is, in this game, though, a hex has to have at least 2 defense factors to protect his zone of control. And all these units here were just a 1. Let me see here. I don't see anybody. If there is a spot where there's just a 1, like this unit right here, does not project a zone of control. He only has 1 defense factor. So you have to have at least 2 insurgency units there. So that's going to be important for the old strategy. We'll be back with, back up here, where most of the regular units are. We're just pulling back. Next turn, I'm going to try to rebuild him. We got ourselves in a defensive position. 2 defense factors. He feels like getting froggy and trying to eliminate him. We got ourselves pretty well defensive up, but I want to get him rebuilt before we do anything else. It's a key thing, like I said, is not to lose units. I mean, I know I'm going to lose some, but here is the schedule. The least amount of units we have. Yeah, so if I've only got 5 destroyed, yeah, it gives you a number of points. 7 or fewer allied. Okay, so he gets a big 18 victory points if I have 7 units or less on the board. You just get the idea there. Alrighty, we'll be back. Insurgency movement units with the white stripes next. Alright, we'll go through the insurgency movement phase and call it a video. You can see here what we're doing, moving units on around here. This place here is ungarrisoned. Unfortunately, it was outside of my maximum movement range, so I have to stay here. These units here are going to be out of supply next turn. We got to get them supplied or get a supply line. This hex here does have a zone of control, but this unit's zone of control cuts off the supply line. I need to get these units into this hex. We're moving a bunch of units around. Oh, there was a regular unit that I didn't move. I didn't know it was underneath one of these insurgency units, so we moved him. I think he was right here. 1, 2, 3. Or no, wait, he was right here. 1, 2, 3. Well, it would be 3 right here. 1, 2, 3. So he must have been right here. I would have moved him 1 across the river, 2, 3 in the jungle. And he couldn't move no more. So that was a regular movement that I had to make. I gotta punch. I gotta do all this on the vlog on the Vassal mod, but I'm just showing you what to do. So we're gonna call it a video because I got a lot of, well, not a lot of work, but a little bit of work involved. He's in garrison with a unit, a good unit too. I think that's my, yeah, special forces. Don't worry, the fortress or the entrenchment that's worth a lot of points to my enemy is garrisoned well. So we got some units moving down here. Oh yeah, that's right. The unit underneath them is attempting to reorganize, or rebuild, rather. So that's the situation here. We move around here, we can try to get these victory point hexes, which are not that well defended. And he's got some units here with some really big defensive factors. I don't know if he can move him in on time. He can't move into a zone of control, so we'll see how that works out. But yeah, put a little bit of pressure over here to maybe draw some of these units out away from another fight that's over here. There you go. Now we moved all these insurgency units. The insurgency units are only one stacking point. You can have a maximum of 5, but only 4 units in a hex. So we'll take advantage of that rule and have 4 units. This is 4 attacking units. Nobody else around me to attack. You got to attack everybody that's around you. So I was able to move these insurgency units, which can go through enemy zones of control. It's one of the best things about insurgency units. So we moved one through here, stopped here. If they want to attack, they can only attack this hex. All their factors can go here and not to any neighboring attacks. Same for this hex right here. So we have 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 factors if we want to get attacked. We'll definitely need some air support or everything if we want to go for this hex, but I'm just putting the pressure on them. Moved other units down here, going for these low-hanging, ungarrisoned fruits. Hoping to draw them in, because you can see here the problem for the communists is going to be they ain't got enough units to plug in all the holes. So let's see what's up. He's definitely got the air advantage, but all of his air units have been used this turn. Yeah. So we'll see what's up. Another thing is, I got some insurgency units going for the weakened units here in this victory point hex. I have a special forces unit here at this air group. 1, 2, 3, 4. He couldn't make it by land, but this air group sitting has got a C-47 with a parachute capability, and he is parachute capable. So we're gonna have some little airdrop, drop into a hex right here for a killer combat. We'll get all kinds of well, not all kinds, but a column shifter too for that being special forces. And I don't think this is an insurgency unit. Nope, no insurgencies. But I think he's got an artillery. Well, that's anti-aircraft. Ooh. Let's see what happens with that. Dropping into a hex with a stinger sight, or air unit stingers. All right, well, that is the hex of it right now. Insurgency movement is done. When we come back after this video, I get a chance to place 2 more insurgency units. We'll find out where we want to place them. They could be within 2 hexes, or within a hex of a regular unit, or maybe even 2 hexes within these units here. So I got this range here and form these insurgency units, or help out with some of these combats. That'll be the video. Stick around with my game of Central America against my opponent in the Contra Drive. Definitely getting interesting. We'll be back.